What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Shane Rowe. Now, we had our last game of the United side of the preseason tour against Borussia Dortmund, and unfortunately we lost 3-2. But it's preseason, so you expect the wins and the losses. It's not so much if we lost, it's how you lose, how well you play. Which, to be honest, it was a bit of a mixed bag. The first part of the game, we looked very good, very compact. We were in control of the game, moved the ball around really well. And Palistri, I think he's ready for the Premier League. This is just my opinion, but he was playing against Borussia Dortmund, who's not some pushover team. They came in second to Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga solely on goal difference. So he was a menace on that left side. So I would love to see him be back up for Rashford, especially when the truth is we don't have anyone that can play on the left side after Rashford. So you might as well give him a run. He's not going to get more than 20 games, 25 games. So I'm sure there's definitely room for him. I would love to see him stay and take his chances. But like I said, we were in total control of this game, man. Donny van der Beek, again, good on him. So far, he's gotten a goal and an assist during this preseason. But is it enough for him to stay? I would like for him to definitely go out on loan. But if we can sell him 25 million for him, I don't see why we shouldn't do that deal. We're linked with Amrabat, so is he a better player than Amrabat? Truth is no. And what we need in the midfield is more of an enforcer rather than a creative player. With Mason Mount coming in, Kobe Mainoo is now injured. He's going to be out for at least a couple of months. And Fred's leaving. So we're going to need enforcements on the more defensive midfield side. We have Bruno, we have Eriksen, and we have Mason Mount. So I'm sure Aaron from the youth might make an appearance here and there. There's no real room for Donny to be able to flourish, and he's going to want to have his game time. So he might as well sell him. But he did provide an assist for Dalot, who must have been watching Wan-Bissaka from the last game, because he said, "Hold my beer," and he scored a worldly, which was really good for us. We have competition in places, for spaces, and this is what you need. This is the only way you're going to have a really good team that's going to be competing on all fronts and competing for the top trophies. So more power to him, man. Push each other, but push Wan-Bissaka, because then he came on and he looked really well. He could have scored a goal and answered back, but he didn't. But then all of a sudden, the whole thing went left. Brandon Williams, he's a good kid, but is he ready for the big teams? I'm not sure. He got completely burnt on that left side. So then let in the Borussia Dortmund player, who put it in for easy first goal. Within 90 seconds, our goalkeeper Tom Heaton, weird pass to Lindelof, who then does an even worse pass straight into another Dortmund player, and before you know it, we're 2-1 down going into the first half. We managed to pull it back, but the game was more of a training session, man. It really was one of those typical preseason games where it looked like it was going to be a proper competition, but then it just kind of faded away. Antony got his goal, which this season I'm going to be expecting a lot from Antony. First season, fine, adjust the team, but this season, especially with Rasmus Højlund coming in, they should be linking up more than we're seeing right now. And this is definitely number one takeaway of the preseason so far. We needed a goal scorer, a number 9. We needed somebody that could come in and link up the play, because Sancho played in that false 9 role again, and listen, he looks sharp, he looks fit, He looks like he's ready for the season, but he was playing out of position again. He was playing down the middle, which he did a job, but it wasn't his position. Sancho and Antony should be competing for that right flank because, to be quite honest, I don't think anyone has really stamped their authority on that position yet. So it's wide open. It's completely wide open between the two of them. But with Højlund coming, we should look complete in that last final third of the final third just looks disjointed. The defense looks decently solid enough, especially with Onana in the back of the controlling the back of the defense now. He had a go at Harry, and I think people are having a go at him for doing that. And I'm like, have you ever watched Peter Schmeichel? Like, even Van der Sar was really authoritative back there. And this is what you need from your goalkeeper. You can't have your goalkeeper quiet, and David De Gea was too quiet for me. Another thing he never controlled the box when it came to corners or crosses. And you just see with Onana, you feel more confident with him being back there and him being the one marshalling the defense. As far as the entire game goes, to give an honest assessment, I'm not sure. It was a mixture of players. I would assume that at this stage, Ten Hag would have started a full 11 of the players that would be starting the game come the first game of the season. But I think he still wanted to look at some players like Donny as well. So it was a mixed bag. It really was a mixed bag. But we didn't look completely in sync, which was the first game I kind of seen us look disjointed. So I'm not gonna be too overly critical. But come a few weeks from now, they're gonna need to be ready. So the good news is we do have the striker in, and we can be able to blood him into the system and get that relationship going between the top three. But I'm still hopeful, still excited, still think that we're gonna do really good things this season, and I expect us to do good things. So you guys let me know how you feel about the game. Let me know how you feel about the upcoming season. The players we've bought so far, I mean, this has to be admittedly one of the better transfer windows we've had since I can remember. I'm telling you the truth, since probably we bought Van Persie. That's probably the last decent window. I don't even remember who we bought besides Van Persie, but the last decent players that we kind of bought was around that time. And to already bring in Onana, Mason Mount, I believe he's gonna click. He hasn't been really playing in his position. He hasn't been getting the extended amount of game time that he's gonna need to really gel into the team, but all that will come. And Rasmus Højlund, listen, he's still a young striker, but he is promising and he has the potential to be really good. And with the drought around strikers at the moment in Europe, I think we're going to look back on this price tag and think it's going to be really cheap. You know, especially with the way the market's going. Arsenal bought Rice for 100 million. So Rasmus Højlund, 20-year-old, for 50 million pounds or 60 million pounds. We're going to look back on this as a good buy. I really believe this. So guys, as always, if you've been here this long, thank you for rocking with your boy. I really appreciate it. Like the video, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. God bless you, and GGMU.